He's sitting right next to you, but he might as well be on another planet. What's wrong, you ask? Nothing, he says. And that one word is the loneliest sound you'll ever hear in a relationship. He's reading your messages, but he's not replying. He's physically there, but mentally he's gone. You're in the same room, but there's an ocean between you. And every single time you read that silence the exact same way. He doesn't care, or the one that cuts even deeper. He doesn't want me anymore. But what if there's a war raging behind that silence that you've never seen? And what if that war has nothing to do with you? What if the real problem is something he's drowning in, entirely on his own? In our last video, we broke down why men pull away. But silence isn't pulling away. Pulling away is distance. Silence is a wall, and those are two completely different things. Most women see that wall and land on the same dark conclusion. He doesn't love me. Or the version that cuts even deeper. He never did. I was just fooling myself. But psychology says the exact opposite. When a man goes silent, most of the time it's not a sign that he stopped caring. It's a sign that he cares too much. I know that sounds like a contradiction. Maybe right now you're thinking, you're just making excuses for him. No, I'm not defending anyone. I'm decoding the invisible psychology that most people never get to see. Because what's happening inside that quiet, unresponsive man is the exact opposite of what you think. And what you're about to hear is going to make you see that silence through completely different eyes. There's a massive study that's been running for over 40 years, thousands of couples observed, and it uncovered 4 core behavior patterns that destroy relationships. The most dangerous one, the quietest one, stonewalling, and here's the critical data, 85% of the people who stonewall are men. But that's not even the shocking part. A man who goes silent looks incredibly calm from the outside, cold, unresponsive, emotionless, but inside his body, a full-blown storm is raging. His heart rate spikes, stress hormones flood his veins. In psychology, we call this physiological flooding. His brain is literally underwater, and when a brain hits that flooding point, it loses 3 critical abilities at once: the capacity to listen, the ability to empathize, and the skill to solve problems. All of them, gone. So when he tells you nothing, he's not lying to you. He genuinely can't form the words. In that moment, his brain physically can't produce them. Because his brain isn't in communication mode anymore, it's switched to raw survival mode, fight or flight. And he's choosing the third option, freeze. Outside, ice. Inside, a fire burning everything down, and all you see is the ice. But not all silence is the same. The real question is, which kind of silence are you dealing with? The first kind, processing silence. Some men take emotions inward instead of outward. This isn't a personal attack on you. It's how his mind digests things. He'll come back in a few hours or a day, ready to talk. It takes patience, but it's not dangerous. The second kind, shame silence. Men tend to hear relationship complaints as personal failure, and when you say, "This hurt me," he hears, "I'm not good enough." And shame always creates silence, because when a person feels ashamed, they want to disappear. Talking is the very last thing they'll do. The third kind, fear of lost silence. He's so terrified of losing you that he'd rather say nothing than risk saying the wrong thing. Here's the painful paradox. He goes silent to keep you. But the silence is exactly what starts to push you away. And he doesn't even realize it. The fourth kind, shut down silence. Some men genuinely don't know what they're feeling. And that's not a lie. They never learned to name their emotions growing up. If you can't name what's inside you, you can't explain it to anyone else. Silence isn't their weapon. It's the only language they know. And the fifth kind, manipulation silence. This one is completely different. If he's using silence as punishment, if he's going quiet to control you, if his silence is designed to make you feel guilty, that's not flooding, that's a power play. And that's the exact toxic cycle we broke down in our last video. Now stop for a second and ask yourself honestly, which silence are you facing? Your answer is the most critical piece of information for what you do next. And now we get to the part nobody wants to face. When he goes quiet, what do you instinctively do? You talk more, you ask more, you push harder. What happened? Why won't you talk to me? Just say something. Every sentence backs him further into a corner. Every question makes that wall between you a little thicker. And the worst part? You don't even realize you're doing it. Because this is a deadly cycle. The harder you push, the deeper he retreats into silence. The quieter he gets, the more you panic and the more you talk. That spiral tightens with every turn, until neither of you can breathe in that room anymore. Most couples caught in this pattern end up breaking apart. And you know why? Not because the love died, but because they deafened each other inside that silence. There's a devastating experiment in developmental psychology called the still face experiment. A mother looks at her baby with a completely blank, cold, unresponsive expression. No smile, no words, nothing. And the baby goes through a precise sequence. First, confusion, then desperate attempts to reconnect. Arms waving, sounds, trying everything. And when nothing comes back, the system crashes. The baby gives up. Now stop and be honest with yourself. When he puts up that wall of silence, don't you do the exact same thing? First confusion, then desperate reaching, then complete emotional collapse. And here's what you need to remember. That response doesn't make you weak or needy. It makes you human. But recognizing this pattern is the first step to breaking it. And taking that step is entirely in your hands. So what do you do now? Step 1, just stop. Stop pushing. More questions, more texts, more cornering him. It only makes things worse every single time. Trying to reach a flooded brain is like pounding on a locked door. You'll make noise, but nobody inside can hear you. Step 2, say one sentence. Whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here. That's it. Short, not cold, not angry, not needy, but incredibly powerful. Because that sentence sends his locked down brain 2 messages at once. 1, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. And 2, I'm not going to force you right now. Those 2 messages together are the only thing a flooded mind needs to start calming down. Step 3, protect your own boundaries. Understanding why he goes silent doesn't mean erasing your own limits. If his silence is dragging you into chronic anxiety, if you're constantly judging yourself, wondering, what did I do wrong? If waiting for him to speak is slowly disconnecting you from your own inner voice, then understanding alone isn't enough. You need to set a clear boundary, because understanding someone's pain and tolerating it are not the same thing. Knowing why someone behaves a certain way psychologically doesn't mean you're obligated to stay inside that painful behavior forever. Silence isn't just an empty space. Silence is a man screaming at the top of his lungs. Sometimes it means, I'm terrified of losing you. Sometimes it means, I don't even know what I'm feeling. Sometimes it means, I'm ashamed and I don't think I'm enough for you. And sometimes, yes, it means I'm trying to control you. Your only job is to learn which silence is which. Because when you give the right silence the right response, that wall between you transforms into a bridge. But when you show patience to the wrong silence, the thing that should have been a bridge becomes a cage that traps you inside. If you want to understand why he pulls away, why he suddenly comes back, and why he goes silent like this, we're decoding this entire toxic cycle from the very beginning on this channel. The day you stop waiting for someone else to understand you, and finally start understanding yourself. Everything in your life changes. If you're ready for that day, subscribe now. The next video that breaks this cycle for good is right here waiting for you.